the watchful eye. How the eagle became the beacon of hope. The animals of the kingdom were gathered in a large clearing, their faces tense and their eyes wide with fear. Over the course of the night, a pack of vicious hyenas had entered their territory and attacked several of their own. The atmosphere was thick with tension, as the animals tried to come up with a solution to deal with the threat. Buka, the lion and leader of the animal kingdom, called for a meeting in the savannah. The animals gathered around him, all murmuring amongst themselves. "My fellow animals," Buka began. "We are gathered here today because our kingdom is under threat. The hyenas have come, and they are causing chaos and destruction everywhere they go." The animals shifted uneasily, remembering the last time the hyenas had come. They had been able to repel them, but just barely. "We have enough might and force to handle the threat," Buka continued. "But the hyenas are unpredictable. They attack randomly, and we never know which side of the forest they will be coming from next." A murmur of agreement went through the crowd, and a brave young gazelle spoke up. "What can we do, Buka?" she asked. "We can't just sit back and let them destroy our kingdom." Buka nodded, his mane bristling with determination. "You're right," he said. "We must take action. But we need a plan. And that's where all of you come in. We must work together to come up with a strategy to drive out the hyenas and protect our kingdom." The animals began to discuss amongst themselves, each one offering their own ideas and suggestions. But deep down, they all knew that they needed the help of Keita, the proud eagle who lived high up in the cliffs. But they also knew that convincing him to help would not be an easy task. Keita was a magnificent eagle, with wings that spanned wider than any of the other birds in the savannah. He was a proud and solitary creature, rarely associating with any of the other animals in the kingdom. His piercing eyes were sharp and keen, capable of spotting the slightest movement from miles away. Keita's dwelling was high up in the cliffs, which only added to his aloofness. Few animals had ever ventured up to his home, and those who had were in awe of the stunning view of the savannah that it offered. Despite his aloofness, Keita was respected and revered by all the animals of the savannah. His intelligence, strength, and sharp senses were unmatched, and his loyalty to the kingdom was unquestionable. But his pride often made him reluctant to offer his help, and the other animals knew that convincing him to aid them would be no easy feat. When the wise old owl finally suggested seeking the help of Keita, the eagle, the other animals were skeptical. Buka decided to send the wise old owl to speak to Keita, knowing that he was the most respected member of the community, and could reach the eagle's dwelling, high up in the cliffs. The owl set out on his journey, flying higher and higher until he reached Keita's dwelling. "Who dares disturb me?" Keita called out as the owl approached. "It is I, the wise old owl," the bird replied. "I have come to seek your help on behalf of Buka and the other animals of the kingdom." Keita looked down at the owl with a skeptical eye. "And what makes you think I would help them?" he asked. The owl ruffled his feathers indignantly. "They need your keen eyesight and sharp senses to keep watch and warn them of any danger," he said. "And who better than you, Keita, to take on such a noble task?" Keita scoffed. "You flatter me, owl," he said. "But I have no interest in helping the other animals. They have never shown me any kindness or respect, and I see no reason why I should risk my life for them." The owl looked up at Keita with a steely gaze. "You may be proud, Keita, but you are also part of this community," he said. "And if you refuse to help, you will be just as responsible for any harm that comes to our fellow animals." Keita glared down at the owl for a moment, his eyes flashing with anger. But then he sighed and looked away. "Very well," he said. "I will help. But only because I know it is the right thing to do." The next morning, the animals gathered once again, their faces weary and anxious. Buka listened intently as the lions, tigers, and leopards reported on the night's events. They had been stationed on the most vulnerable side of the forest, but the hyenas had come in from the other side, attacking without warning and leaving chaos in their wake. Just then, the sound of powerful wings flapping cut through the air. The animals looked up in awe as Keita, the great eagle, flew in, his feathers glistening in the moonlight. The owl who had gone to seek Keita's help perched on a nearby branch, feeling proud of his accomplishment. Meanwhile, Keita landed gracefully in front of Buka, ignoring the other animals completely. "I see you finally come," Buka said, relief evident in his voice. "I heard about your troubles," Keita replied, his voice deep and commanding. "And I have come to offer my help." "How can you help us?" Buka asked, trying to keep his excitement at bay. I have already deployed 5 of my finest eagles to keep watch over the kingdom. They are posted at strategic points around the kingdom, so we shall have no blind spots, said Keita. As the other animals listened with rapt attention, the eagle continued. Owl, he said, turning to the wise bird, I will need 5 of your best birds to pair with my eagles. They will inform the lions and leopards of the direction from which the hyenas approach. We shall rotate our watch every 6 hours to ensure that we remain vigilant and alert. Keita, Buka, and Owl worked together, assigning birds to their posts and laying out a detailed plan of action. As the sun began to set, a sudden movement caught the attention of the animals on watch. A bird streaked across the sky with lightning speed, addressing the 3 leaders. Hyenas. A group of them coming from the east. Buka's heart raced as he sprinted towards the location, his powerful muscles propelling him across the savannah with lightning speed. He could hear the sounds of chaos and panic ahead, and he knew that the fight had already begun. As he approached the scene, he saw the hyenas swarming around a group of animals, their jaws snapping and their eyes glowing with malevolent glee. But he also saw the shining feathers of Keita, the majestic eagle, and the wise and watchful owl, swooping down from above to join the fray. The battle was fierce and brutal, with teeth and claws flashing in the dimming light. The hyenas were tough and cunning, but the animals were strong and united, and they fought with a fierce determination that could not be broken. The birds had swooped and dived, pecking and clawing at the hyenas' eyes and ears. The lions and leopards had fought with all their strength, their powerful jaws and razor-sharp claws tearing into the hyena's flesh. As the dust settled, and the sun dipped below the horizon, Buka looked around at the battlefield, his heart swelling with pride and relief. The hyenas had been defeated, their ranks scattered and broken, and the animals of the kingdom had emerged victorious. As the animals gathered together to celebrate their victory, they knew that they had faced a formidable foe, and emerged stronger, and more united than ever before. As Keita soared into the sunset, the animals below watched in awe at his majesty. He was a symbol of strength and bravery, and they were grateful to have him as their ally. And as they settled in for the night, they could hear the sound of the eagle's wings flapping in the distance, a reassuring reminder that they were never truly alone. Thank you for watching our story, The Watchful Eye, and we hope you enjoyed it. What lessons did you draw from this story? Share them with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Tales of the Savannah for more exciting stories. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time in the Savannah.